Reusse Unchained. So, Patrick, 2 days after Chris Finch said, I am not making a starting lineup change, my starting lineup, you don't understand. If we change it, so much happens. We find out right before the game starts that Mike Conley indeed is out of the starting lineup. Dante DiVincenzo is in. And after a horrid start to the game, Wolves
Yes,
actually come back and win.
they do come back and win. And DiVincenzo is all the stats say that he is not a point guard, that he's a catch and shoot kind of
Mm-hmm.
guy. Is end up they The big screw up was they didn't get themselves a point guard to support Connolly in case this happened to Connolly, and maybe they'll find one because obviously Rob Dillingham, A, he's hurt now, and B, he was showing why he's not ready to play. So, but anyway, they got hot and started making shots, and Ant had a great finish, and everybody was happy. And I was not there. You were there, but it was roaring at the end, right? The fourth quarter,
Yes.
the folks were all fired up. So
Very
there's still
angsty at the start.
yeah. Oh God, it was terrible
A
at the
lot of
start.
angst
It
at the
was
start.
brutal. And the Randall not playing hardly at all in the
Uh
fourth
huh.
quarter, right? Very instructive. It'll see if he was pouting or not, but he didn't. And now Nas had a good game, even though he did finish it by committing two of the stupidest fouls in history within about an 8 second period. What the hell? You got the game won. What are you hacking people for? And that was idiotic. Nas is not exactly a defensive whiz, but he gives them some life offensively, which
Mm-hmm.
counts. And that's yeah. They let's say they needed that. And Kawhi played what Kawhi was 3 for 12 or something like
Yeah,
that. He was not
21
making
minutes.
shots. So and then he sat there in the fourth quarter. He's got to rest because he's only had like
It's incredible, Pat. I mean,
he's
he's stealing his money.
oh God, he is. He's I always say this. You can go up to the corner, you can rob a 7-Eleven and get $25 and go to prison, but you can steal $50 million in the NBA and they don't do anything to you. All they do is at least he's in California and they're getting a lot of taxes and money out of him. I'm
Yeah.
glad to see that. I'm glad he's helping the unless he maybe he goes and lives in Florida when he's on the
Ooh.
injured list, so he doesn't have to pay state tax. Maybe he's figuring out how to get around that. I don't know or not, but yeah, it was a much needed victory. But it's still a team that really, the biggest shock of me watching it was when they were trying to give the lead back in the fourth quarter, 4 or 5 minutes to go, and McDaniel's pumped one in from the corner at the end of the clock when
Off an ant pass. That was a
yes,
nice
yeah,
shot.
and he put that in, and he could do that. He could take that shot 10 times and make it twice. So the odds of that happening were not great, but uh, needed a win, and the people are still coming to the game. So we'll see. Now the holiday season, I think we're pretty much over. There was no traffic yesterday when I was in the station coming in and out. So we still have people celebrating the holidays with days off. But I think we're about ready to go back to work here now,
The
aren't we?
lower bowl, which is all sold out, was either late arrivals or they decided on a Monday night against the Clippers, no
They're not going
thanks.
to go. Really? Wow.
But I
So
mean, their tickets sold for now. So
yeah, and it was rowdy. But anyway, they got a win that they badly needed. So.
And meanwhile, Pat, on the other side, and at the Intuit Dome where the Clippers play, that's where WWE moved to Netflix. So their main
That's
flagship
now
Raw show is now
is
on
it
Netflix.
is Netflix, so they're off the air? I thought maybe they were on regular TV too, or is this just Netflix? Netflix is the only outlet now.
So yeah, so on Monday night, so for Raw, you
Yeah.
have to have Netflix to watch. SmackDown did
Wow.
move on Friday to USA, so that's usually been like a basic cable channel show. So now that's on USA on Fridays. But yes, Raw was on Netflix, and no hiccups, no streaming hiccups. Things went through perfectly. It was a pretty cool show. Hulk Hogan came out, Pat, and let's just say the younger WWE audience doesn't really care for Hulk Hogan, and he was booed relentlessly trying to promote his beer. It was one of the biggest highlights of the show for me.
And why do we not? Why does the younger audience not like him? I know he's a.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't-
some of the choices he's made in his life
he's
recently, I
not.
don't think really identify with younger.
He's been unkind to women
Yeah,
at some point, right? I
it
don't
was
follow.
wildly uncomfortable, but also funny to see.
Well, the and Netflix is certainly making itself a play. This is the way they're trying to survive, in that world. Is they're two football games, which cost them millions to buy the right to, millions and millions that were a fantastic success. Now this, I kept seeing these Raw ads on Netflix, but I didn't know that they were the only outlet. I thought
Yeah.
maybe they were the other one, but you know, it's doesn't. I gave up wrestling when Vern Gagne stopped selling Geritol. So
Yeah.
Channel
so
9 days
I don't want it.
for
Channel,
you.
yes, Channel 9. Yeah, before, Channel 11 days
Yep,
when
that's
Channel 11 was the independent station. And that was
yep.
a couple of years ago, to say the least. So I actually didn't give it up then. I gave it up when uh, when the Civic Center used to have the big cards, so that was maybe in the mid '80s, maybe was when I gave it up. But when we were youth, we loved it because we watched it, and then we would smack beer cans off our forehead like the Crusher used to around the campfire and drink a beer, and that was always good for you. And you
That was
wake up.
Calhoun Beach Club, right?
Yes, that was fantastic. Yes, that was Gene Okerlund and Marty. Even before
Mean
that,
Gene.
Marty O'Neill did him. The younger generation doesn't know Marty. Marty, a little Irish guy who used to be the broadcaster for St. Paul Saints minor league games. He'd put on the shades. He was in our bowling league too. That was in the 1970s. He was in the bowling league where we on Wednesday afternoons we drank enough that they gave us free bowling. It was in the league. You didn't have to pay for the bowling on a Wednesday afternoon if you drank a lot. There might have been a few people who drove home from that one.
No
Just
way. I
teeter.
refuse to believe it in the
Now
70s. Never
back then
happened.
back then I think it was 0.12 too. It was so it was a little higher, but we didn't have this diminished zero point 0.8, which is how can anybody who drinks stay under zero point 0.8? I don't know. And we didn't have Uber, that's for sure, back then too. So
No, just good
anyway,
old taxi cabs.
good for. I don't even know who's the big stars right now in Raw. Who's like our WWE champion who packs them in?
Cody Rhodes, so Dusty Rhodes' son.
Oh, really?
So he's been the champ for almost a year now.
Is
He's
he a
been
bad guy?
no, he's a face. He's a good guy.
Dusty
Yep.
was a good bad guy. Dusty was
Yes,
a
Dusty
bad
was one of
guy.
the best bad guys. Yes.
Busty'd hit you with a chair if you didn't watch out. And yeah, so Dusty was around long enough ago. I bet when he was a kid, he wrestled Vern a couple of times.
Oh yeah, had to
Yeah,
have.
he was grinding out this kid when he was 50, 60 years old or something, Dusty. So good. Is Dusty still? Dusty got to be dead,
Dusty
right?
passed. Yep. Dusty
Yeah.
been passed. Yeah, he
You
passed.
know, next to football players, wrestlers are not many wrestlers see 80. I'll tell you that. They're these
Or
guys.
70.
No, they're
Feels
well.
like they don't clear 70 very
In the
often.
old days, it was the rugged life of wrestling every
Right.
night and drinking. Then it became steroids, which killed them off young. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
they don't have long lives.
Hey,
You know
so
who's
is
not gonna have a long life? Gopher basketball fans, the 47 that are left. The 40 now. It looked like they had a few more, although I guess the students weren't there last night. But
8,000 announced.
how did they lose this? They have, you know what? In my long experience as a sports writer, one thing I've learned is you should always know what the score is when you're playing. You should always know whether you're ahead by a certain amount or behind by a certain amount, and especially in basketball where it changes, and you have to be aware that how what the score is should affect your behavior, should it not, when you're playing on the
Yeah,
court?
hopefully.
I
Yes.
don't know who the hell Caden Betts is, but Mike Mitchell Jr., the 91% free throw shooter, goes up and chokes two free throws to keep the lead at 2, and then Caden Betts, I don't know who he is either, runs out and fouls somebody intentionally and puts them at the line
To tie, right?
Because he thinks they're 3 ahead, and he doesn't want them to shoot the 3. So you know, we got some media members who are fully invested in this team and really hoping for them. And I feel sorry for those people today because that was a bad loss. Now I didn't realize, however, Marcus had this the other day. I didn't realize that that they gave Ben a little extension, and it's going to cost $7.5 million to fire him after this season. You think they'll do it for that kind of money?
I think they might have to at this
Yeah,
this
they
rate.
might.
They're going to miss the Big Ten tournament because for the
Yeah.
first time,
Yes.
because of the expansion, they're not going to take 2 teams. The 2
No.
bottom
Yeah,
teams won't go.
only 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I mean, letting that one. Ohio State. We, 4 years ago, this Holtman that was there was a big. They all loved him, and what was their stat? They'd lost 31 out of 32 road games or something like that in the league. It's just they've been terrible, and they were terrible last night from what I saw. I didn't watch a lot of it, but
The Gophers
it's
were 12 of 27 from the free throw
from
line.
the free throw
That's
line.
how you lose a
That's really-
basketball
Yes.
game.
Were those guys going like this when we were shooting them or something? Were they cheating? Well, when your best free throw shooter goes up and bricks too, you know, hey Mike, this is your 9th year of college basketball. You choked, you know. My, what a joke! What a joke! It's brutal. Cause I mean, you watch them play and you go, who the hell are these guys? I don't know who these guys are. Dawson Garcia, Mitchell, Uncle Parker. He's there, Uncle
Parker played a
Fox.
lot last night, I
Yeah,
guess.
Parker did. He had a good game. He can't make a free throw either. He's like a 47% free thrower or something. But it's really hard to develop, And the kid from Cherry, Asama, play him 35 minutes.
Yeah.
For a guy's a freshman, he played good last night. What do you got these other idiots running around? Play the kid.
I wonder if he's going to stick around, Pat.
Well, they're going to probably come up with the money for him, but if not, I don't know what kind of kid he is. He's
You know
he's been
who
loyal.
that team needs? Coy Parrish.
Yes.
Go get Coy. Coy's a hell of a
he's a
basketball player.
player. He was a basketball player. He knocked somebody down. Hey, by the way, some people were saying this was the worst loss to Ohio State since the riot in 1972. And you know what happened after the riot? Winnie became a starter. Winnie, the baseball player, became
Yeah.
a starter. So let's maybe steal Parrish to play. What else? Might as well play basketball. There's a nonsense about having to lift weights in football in the February is idiotic. Let's get him out there. He can jump. He's an athlete. And you know what else he'd do? He'd grab Caden Betts by the head and go like this. Say, what the hell is wrong with you, moron? People try to be kind. He got a little, I think Ben's quote was, he got a little confused. No, he didn't, Ben. He got a lot confused. He didn't know what the score was. That's a lot confused. I don't know it's college basketball is 362 teams.
Oh.
By the way,
It's crazy.
St. Thomas has got a big game Wednesday night. They got South Dakota State in town, and they're good. They've been winning some games. They went 2-0. They went 2-0 last week at North Dakota and North Dakota State on the road. Meanwhile, great football game, North Dakota State and Montana State, 35-32. They had a 21-3 lead at halftime, but Montana State's good. They're unbeaten. But the kid I wrote about, the Lance kid, the receiver, is really good. He made some great catches and made another. These guys were, his catch to put them in the in the championship game, that one-handed reach thing. I don't know. It's all over the internet. You know, it was a fantastic catch on the on the tightrope in the right sideline in the end zone. One hand reaches up. Well, last night he makes a catch at the goalpost, diving catch that they put him on at the half. These idiots who do these games are so unprepared because they got your ninth place team of producers and stuff in there. They never made the comparison that the it was a miraculous catch at the goal line on the right sideline, just like the other one. They never made the comparison. These guys just kept babbling, and the producer didn't know. And you're watching they got some 14-year-old kid running the down and distance and stuff, and they're always late. And they, more evidence of too many bowl games because some of these people you listen to 2 minutes of some of these bowl games. They got some guy. They just
Oh, some of them they know
some
nothing.
guy was
Yes.
walking by on the street. And, hey, you want to be the
Call a
want to be
game?
the analyst tonight, Bill?
I watched a football game once. Okay, kid, come up here in the booth and work it.
Yes, right. It is incredible. They all say the same thing. You know, they all just babble. And the guy doing the analytics analysis yesterday was just terrible. He just said the same thing after every two plays. You know, it was not a first class operation, but it was a good game. So
Trey Lance's dad sounds, because I read your column
Carlton,
Monday,
yeah.
sounds like a very serious man.
Yeah, he's a business. He played football there, came up from Fort Myers, and then he was assistant coach through 2004, and got into the business world. He's in a leasing company with another guy, and they do really well down there in Marshall. But yeah, he was not going to give me any inside info on whether Trey was starting or not for Sunday. And I probably don't blame him because if it gotten out, they'd probably start trying to figure out, even though everybody knew it. And as it turned out, by starting Trey and not what Cooper Rush, they saved themselves $250,000 if
Yes.
Cooper Rush had played something. So
Yes.
we got to give him an opportunity. Probably, but I did not know this, but probably we got to give him an opportunity. Was probably, hey, we can save $250,000. You know, we make hundreds of billions, but it's still $250,000. We might as well save it, huh?
Mhm.
By the way, who watches Landman? You watch Landman? Who watches Landman?
No.
I
Neither
just
of you.
watch clips on Twitter because
So
they get aggregated a lot.
yeah, and Billy Bob's on and John Hamm, and it's okay. It's kind of I
Demi
really
Moore.
liked it at first, but they had Jerry Jones visiting John Hamm in the hospital and doing a whole speech about family and how important it is to be family. And it was probably Jerry probably told him, "Okay, I'll appear, but I get to say what I want to say about how important it is to work with his family." So, anyway, that was interesting last week. I didn't know that. So, but let's face it, most of us watch it because his buxom wife and his buxom daughter are in it, Billy Bob. So, they spent a lot of time in bikinis at the pool. So that's most of it why we watch it.
Pat, last thing, I see the line for Vikings Rams has now shifted a little bit closer to LA. The Vikings are now just 1.5 favorites on Monday night against the Rams. What are your kind of thoughts going into it?
Apparently, I thought the Rams had opened at 2 or 3, and but apparently the Rams haven't been that. You know that they got a lot of flaws, I guess. So I don't know. I kind of this is really a mystery, isn't it? How our club, how Darnold's going to respond, how the Vikings are going to respond. I guess
Yes.
it's what makes sports great because we don't have any. This is all year long, or all since the middle of the year. We kind of got an idea what to expect from this team. Their defense is still good, so they can shut. They could maybe shut down the Rams, but Stafford took the week off. Stafford's Pretty good. And how's their health? They got their best receivers. Is Cooper Cup playing? Is everybody? And if their good guys are playing, it's gonna be tough. I don't know. Plus, you're not gonna have a coaching advantage. Yeah, you're not.
No, McVay's very good.
What about all this crap that this Glazer likes to start and throw out there? Teams are trying to trade for O'Connell. Shut up. They're not. They don't do that in the NFL. When's the last time it happened in the
Who
NFL?
planted that though?
I don't
O'Connell's
know.
agent? Like some that
Yes.
more importantly is why did someone plant that? Because he doesn't make that stuff up. It's not
No.
it's not going to happen. But
No.
I'm very curious about who actually got to him and said, "Hey, you should report this."
I got a question. Why didn't the Wolves already extend him? I mean, why didn't they do it halfway through the year?
It's a question they're probably asking themselves right now.
Yes, because
I don't know why they didn't. I don't know if they said, "Hey, there's a chance that O'Connell said, if you're not going to do it before the season, let's
don't
wait."
do it in. Well, it could be, and
Still got a year left.
and they
It's not
also,
like
or maybe they were trying to make up their mind on Kwesi too. I don't think they
Yeah,
were.
that's true.
I think Kwesi was good, and I suppose they want to announce them together, right? So, but I'm surprised that it's I would have extended him at the start of the year, right? Why did he only get 3 years?
I think they
4.
were. What's that?
Oh,
Dex?
4.
4 years. They got
Yeah.
4-year
4 years.
contracts.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't extend him. I don't. Wait a minute now. He's 4. He's 4. When did Zim leave? This is
2021
4 years.
was
This
his
is year
last
3 for KOC.
Yeah. The deal is he has a contract for next year.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
under
they-
contract for next year, but
well, then what's the hurry? Who cares?
well, it's going to
He's
cost
not-
him now though.
they're
He's
not
going to
gonna take
cash in.
Oh yeah, he should. Well, what the hell? He should cash in, even though he was stumbling and mumbling like his post game. I didn't hear yesterday's post game, but he was a little rattled on.
He was rattled. Yeah,
on
he was definitely.
Sunday night. He
Well,
was rattled.
his Frankenstein fell apart. I mean, you'd spend that much time molding a guy, and he completely comes unglued. I think that's a problem. So, anywho,
Yes, and that everybody came unglued with him on the offensive end. So I don't know who do we feel was really terrible in the offensive line on Sunday. Who are we blaming? The whole crew, or I
The
didn't think
interior
Cam
guys weren't
Robinson.
Interior is
I
pretty
don't think
bad.
who.
The interior was Brandel was bad.
I didn't think much of the left tackle either when things got too much heat.
but he's still got to get rid of the ball. Like that. That's the thing.
Yeah,
we're trying to find like all of these.
Yeah, but he hadn't gotten rid of the ball all year, right?
No, but I mean that's the problem is the Lions exposed that. Jacksonville did the same thing too. If he gets rattled, he doesn't come back that well from it. So
Well, there has to be some flaw that he went to other places and didn't play. So
absolutely. All right, Patrick. We will talk to you again on Thursday.
go Gophers, and go to that arithmetic class so you know what the score is. They still take arithmetic. We got 28 tutors, and the guy doesn't know how much what the score is. That's not good. We fire the tutor.
All right. See you, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Bye.
Reusse Unchained. Scoop session coming up later today, too.